Hello everyone. I am making a couple of bee wreaths today, and my first one is going to be with this beehive wreath frame that I got from the Dollar Tree. I also got this garden stake from the Dollar Tree. Really cute gnome, says let it be. I've already pulled the stake out of it. Comes up very, very easily. Just got to twist it, turn it back and forth, and just pull it out. Real simple. Good thing about this is it's got a little loop right there, and then you also have another like little hole area right here, and that's what we'll be using to kind of attach our sign to this. Then I have this beautiful burlap, this honeycomb burlap, and we're going to attach it to the wreath. And then we also have this wonderful jute cord from Walmart, and this is such a huge roll. You get so much for like $3.77. It's definitely well worth the purchase. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the tag, and like I said, I'm going to wrap the entire wreath frame with this jute cord. I do like to start off with using some hot glue just to kind of keep it down, and I like to tie a little knot. You don't have to. And also, guys, if you don't want to twist it around as much as I plan to, you can definitely just, try to, well, not try to, but you could definitely just, excuse my dogs. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. You can definitely just take the jute cord and glue it right on top, just like that. But I prefer to go ahead and wrap the entire wreath with it instead of just, but like I said, if you want a faster way of doing it, absolutely, just, you can do that. But for me, it doesn't take too long to wrap. Plus, I can just sit down and watch a show or something, listen to some music, and just have a little bit of quiet time while I am actually wrapping this frame. So here, as you can see, I'm wrapping it, and I actually hold it down with one finger because I'm trying to keep it as close and as tight as I can. So this is just how I do it. You know, I just hold down the last wrap that I did to make sure it stays secure. So I'm not going to bore you with you guys watching me wrap this entire wreath frame, and I will get back with you when I'm done. So here I have it's all wrapped up, and I already burnt most of it, but you know, if you've never seen it before, I go back with a lighter and burn all those little fray edges off and stuff, the little fibers that kind of stick out. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. I just think it gives it a nicer look to it. So here's my fabric. Again, I got this at the Dollar Tree, and as you can tell, it's going to be enough to do one wreath. And then if you give me just a minute, I think I'm going to go get my little iron so I can iron this down a bit. Alright, so I actually have this little like heat resistant mat, and I just use it just like we do parchment paper or whatever, and it just heats up and it helps with the ironing process. And you don't really have to actually iron on to the material itself. I think I got this on Temu when I was trying out stuff. You know, I hear a lot of people go to Temu and buy certain things. I thought I'd try it out, and it actually works really well. You see, it's all kind of, well, you may not be able to see, but it's been used. I make shirts for myself and for my family, and so it's very much used. So, but I never ironed burlap before. It's pretty much got all of the wrinkles where it was folded up out, so I think it'll look okay. So then we'll go back to this, and I just want to kind of cut out the area that I'm going to use. And then I think I'm just going to go slowly and, excuse me, I'm just going to start adding the hot glue onto the wreath frame like I'm doing here, and then I will just go section by section, really, as far as putting this on. Now be careful, because, you know, burlap, and it's gonna, the hot glue is going to seep through, so. And I'm just kind of pulling the fabric as I go down. Let's turn it over and see how it's looking so far. It looks pretty good. And like I said, just a section at a time. Don't want to do too much at one time, because I don't want the glue to kind of end up cooling off and not being, and having to redo it. Unless you guys are faster than me. This is the first time I ever made one of these bee wreaths. I mean, I make deco mesh bee wreaths, but at my Dollar Tree, I don't always get the nice things that I see other crafters using. I guess if they go, because I was only going once a week, if not maybe once every 2 weeks or once a month. It just really depended. And so I would miss out probably on a lot of stuff. So like I said, I wouldn't be able to find a lot of this stuff. I was pleasantly surprised that I was able to get some of this stuff yesterday, actually. So if you want, you could definitely use like a little spatula to help hold the fabric down, since it seeps out. It is going to get on your hands and stuff, but it's not that big of a deal for me. I'll just wash it off. Oh. So here's the finished work. And I think what I'm going to do is probably, you can see all the hot glue on my hands. I'll probably end up just getting an X-Acto blade, maybe. Let's check this out together and see how close it's going to cut to the wreath frame. It's okay, but I think an X-Acto would be a little bit better. So I'm gonna go get me an X-Acto blade. Be back. Alright guys, now it's time to feed some of this wire onto our little gnome here. I'm just gonna cut a little lengthy piece and cut it in two because I don't need that much for one. So I'll just go ahead and add it on here to the top loop. And then, as you guys can see right there, there's another little loop. I don't know what that was for, but we're going to use it. So that's great because we all know hot glue does not always work on metal. It likes to come off real easily. So I think what I'm going to do too is make a little bow. And y'all help me because Lord knows I struggle with making little bows. Every time I make a bow it seems to be super big. So I think I just got like a, okay, it's going to be like a 5-inch tail. And do 10 inches so we can do 5-inch loops. Twist it. Do another 10 inches. Put that in there and then twist it again. So since I already have my loops there, I can just kind of gauge right there. And then I just keep going side by side. Pinching and holding. I think 3 loops on each side will be sufficient, so I'll just cut it off at a 5 inches. Another 5-inch tail. And I'll go ahead and cut that at a slant. And then I'm just going to take some more of this wire here and make it easy for us. And I'm just going to tie this bow. I'm sorry, y'all. I like to try to make sure that my the ends of my wire or pipe cleaner are the same. That's just me. And then kind of fluff some of these out. Y'all don't come at me if my bow is too big. I know I have a problem. Okay. So, let's get our wreath back. So, let's see. We could put a little bow right there. And then, how about we put our little gnome right there? That'll be good. So I'm just going to take these and poke them in the little holes of the burlap. And if you had pipe cleaners, you could do the same. The pipe cleaners will fit through there just as well. And I'm just going to put it down like this. I'm going to just tack a little hot glue on there, just so, you know, nothing pokes out and stabs somebody. Okay. And then we'll do the same with our little no, I was going to call him a gingerbread. No, Marjorie, not a gingerbread man. if y'all are hearing anything. I'm doing some laundry at the same time, and you might be able to hear my washing machine. I don't know. I apologize ahead of time. I normally just do voiceovers, but I'm home alone and the dogs are being fairly quiet, so I thought, yeah, why not to just not do it to where I don't have to do a voiceover and I can just give you the instructions at the same time. So see, that looks so super cute. And again, we'll take these and snip them off and add a little hot glue. And I'm putting that right there where the other, it's part of the frame, so it'll stick to that. Try to do that where I can. Alrighty, we'll see this in just a minute. So what do you guys think? I think it came out so cute. I really enjoy this one. It was only, I mean, it was like $5, less than $5 to make. Okay, so for the second project, we're going to use this bee wreath frame. And I've got some of this beehive fabric from the Dollar Tree. And then I also got these, this little burlap with the polka dots from the Dollar Tree as well. I do have some ribbon. I'm going to make a small bow, just a real simple bow for this one. And I guess I'm going to just show you how we're going to do this bow. So, this piece is about 24 inches long. And I'm just going to make one loop here. I'm going to twist it. And make another loop. Okay. So then what I'll do is I'll take the top loop and I'll bring it down and scrunch it in my fingers. This loop right here, I'm going to take my scissors and just go ahead and cut it. I could have went ahead and cut it at a diagonal like I'm going to do, but it's going to be a little bit difficult with my my hand using to hold down the other part of the ribbon. So now I'm just going to take this, put my little wire there, twist it on. There's my little loops for my bow and my tails. So you can either dovetail this. I like to do it at a diagonal when I have the 1.5 inch ribbon and smaller. So, but it's everybody's preference is different. When we're done, we're going to put them right there. So I'll do the same thing that I did with the last wreath frame, which is to use some jute cord and wrap it around. And I think what I'm going to do that's going to be a little bit, what I'm going to do is instead of doing these individually, I'm going to wrap them together as one. And yeah, and then I'll even include the antennas. So I'm trying to figure out now the best way for me to do it. Excuse me. So I think I'll just start here in the corners. Right there. I'm not going to put a knot on this one. There's a lot of stuff right here. So I'm just going to hold it down and start. Well, actually, I didn't need to start it there. I'm forgetting what I'm doing, Marjorie. Okay. Well, yeah, I think I was going to do it right. So then I'm just going to go over both of them. While I'm holding them, I'm not gonna hold it too tight because I don't want it to bend like this. These frames are very frail. They can definitely break pretty easily. I do notice that when I wrap the jute cord around the wreath frames, it does become a little bit more sturdy. So that's the good thing about wrapping them. I don't know how it would be if you just kind of laid it on top and glued it. I don't know if it'll give it any extra stability, but I myself like to have a lot of stability in my wreaths, you know. That way, even if you put it outside and, you know, the wind might get it or whatever, I don't know. Kids might play with it. I know my grandchildren love playing with my wreath making stuff. So right here, I'm just going to, because it's this part of the head, as you can see here, is attached to this top portion of the wing. So now that it's separating, I'm not going to go around the head. I'm going to go right there in between, okay? And then I will just continue wrapping like that. And again, I'm not going to make you watch me do all this. I will do this off screen, and then I'll be back with you in just a bit. So here it is, all wrapped. And so I think what I'm going to do first is just glue on the fabric for the wings. Yeah, I think we'll do that first. I did already tried to iron some of it down and did okay, but no, I do always like to cut a little bit more than what's necessary, just because I don't like to have to, oh, what is that? Cut extra fabric and then try to match it up. I am not good at that, y'all. So again, just adding a little bit of hot glue at a time. And I did find that it was a lot easier for me to cut it with the scissors than it is the X-Acto blade. I can get under a little bit to kind of make it a little bit cleaner. Make sure that none of the little parts fray out and you can't really see them. So I'm going to go add the other wing and I'll be right back. Alright, so now we're going to do the head and the body. But what I did is I just cut a long piece of the fabric. I went ahead and ironed it out, and because there's this little area right in here that you kind of see if the fabric, so I made sure that I did not cover it with the burlap because it's part of the body. Had I not seen it, I probably would have covered it with the burlap. But I'm glad I noticed. And then I'm actually just going to kind of put the glue right here on the wings. So we can, sorry about that, guys. So we can go ahead and keep that glued down as well. And again, just kind of pull it tightly just to make sure it's all nice and tight. And then I'll just glue the rest down to his little bottom. Now these are really great, simple, easy wreaths. Affordable, not only budget friendly, but beginner friendly. Ooh, and a So let me go back and I will cut all this fabric off, and then we'll attach the bow and we'll see how it looks at the end. So I wanted to take a minute and say thank you guys very much for joining me today on my video. Y'all have a blessed week.